Hey guys, I'm sorry for the delay. We were having meetings and then a lot of you guys were asking questions, and anyway, finally here's a mini clip of the notes that I posted online. So I'm just gonna go ahead and explain the bigger points, okay? So here, let me refer back to the actual page. All right, well, today we are starting the reciprocal function, which is also a parent function. That is the regular equation for it, regular graph for it. They are hyperbolas. Don't think about it too much. Just like the quadratic one is a parabola, this is a hyperbola, okay? And remember this long line here, this straight line means such that. So the domain is x such that x is not equals to 0. So that means that every other x value exists except for that. And why? Because you have asymptotes there. So we'll get into that in deeper with actual examples. This next section here is just explaining the transformations, which you guys should already kind of know at this point. Remember this always. A vertical asymptote will always start with x equals, and horizontal y equals. All right, so now I'm gonna show my page that I have here and further explain. The asymptotes, you guys can see that I highlighted in yellow. For reciprocal functions, you always have a vertical one and a horizontal one. Vertical, x equals, for the parent function is 0, and it's x equals because that's where you cross the x-axis, and likewise for horizontal, that is the regular parent function equation for it, where a, h, and k are all real numbers. Okay, transformations. I know they look really hard, but don't think about them too much, guys. Any number that's accompanied with x down here will always move the function left and right, and it does the opposite. So you guys should already know that. And any number at the very end of any function will always move it up and down. And it does exactly what your brain is telling you to do. So if you see a plus, it goes up. Minus, it goes down. So transformations, the first example here that I gave you guys for that one, I kind of wrote it down here. This was the big idea. It has 4 right, 3 down, and you have a reflection across the x-axis. So I'm using this type of equation, right? Firstly, I see a reflection across the x-axis. If you have that anytime, any parent function, not just this one, if you have a reflection across the x-axis, you should think negative sign, and is the first thing right after the equal sign, so negative. So I already took care of that. 4 to the right, well, whatever you are moving left or right, that number needs to go down here with the x, and it does the opposite. Right means minus, and 3 down just at the very end, minus 3. Now there is a shortcut for asymptotes. You will find it helpful. Vertical asymptote, you guys should already know, is always x equals. Well, the vertical asymptote will always be the number that's accompanied here in the denominator with the x, but the opposite sign. Okay, so it's not going to be minus 4, it's going to be positive 4, and vice versa. If that was a plus 4, this would be a negative 4. Okay, a vertical asymptote is just what makes the denominator 0. Horizontal asymptote is always y equals, and it's always this number at the end. So that's why it's just negative 3. If it was plus 3, you would have a positive 3. Now let's go back here. Those are further examples. You guys can see the dotted lines. Those are your asymptotes. But what I really want you to understand are the shortcuts. Those are really easy to understand, I hope. Like, for example, this one down here, vertical asymptote, always look at the denominator. There's no number there with x, so it's just a 0. So it'll be x equals to 0. And the horizontal will be whatever that number at the end is. So y equals to negative 2. Okay, you don't change the sign for that one at all. Now let's look at the next one here. Vertical asymptote, you already know, x is equals to -3. Okay, you have to change the sign. And there's no number at the end here, so it's y equals to 0. Let's do one that has both, like number 7. Vertical asymptote, x is equals to +2, change the sign. And horizontal is y is equals to -2, keep the sign. Okay. So I hope that really does help. Also for your homework, I don't understand what's going on. I have people turn it in already. So I'll see what I can do about that, but be on the lookout for another assignment. I'm gonna post a really easy quiz sometime tomorrow, by latest on Wednesday. All right. Stay inside, guys. Please stay safe. If you feel sick, take your medicines and stay hydrated. Bye.